1 billion, we have 1 billion and a few hundred million or whatever. No, we have to start working from now. And that's why I'm going to propose to the FIFA Council and, of course, to all our member associations, which ultimately have to embrace with us the development of women's football, a few ideas. I would like to mention 5. Mr. Legret has mentioned the 6th one that we will also probably then put into all the proposals, the World Cup, Women's World Cup every 2 years. But from my side, I would like to propose a Club World Cup for women, starting as soon as possible, as of next year or the year after, but as soon as possible. A real Club World Cup, because we can develop national team football only if we develop club football as well, all over the world, not only in a few countries. So we need a Club World Cup, which can be played even every year to expose clubs from all over the world and to make clubs, men's club, but also women's club, invest even more in women's football in order to shine, not only to dare to shine, but to really shine in a world stage, which is a real and true Club World Cup. And this is the first one. The second one is a Women's World League. I spoke about it for the first time in the FIFA Congress in Bahrain in 2017, so it's already 2 years ago. We made a proposal, we discussed it with all our associations. We had a big majority of over 90% of associations who wanted that. It was then a little bit put on the side because it's true we didn't even have an international match calendar for women's football. We have this now, so we can put it back on the table and we can create a new event with a Women's World League, which is different than the concept of qualifiers with home and away games, but which is played in tournaments all over the world at different levels. This is something that again will boost the development of women's football. The third proposal that I want to make is looking at this World Cup and that how many teams who did not qualify for this World Cup and who are there and giving them as well a chance. I think we should increase the number of participants. We did it for the men. We went from 32 to 48. I think it's time to increase it for the women as well, from 24 to 32. The tricky thing there, of course, is that we have a World Cup coming on in 2023, for which we just started a month ago or a couple of months ago a bidding process based on 24 teams. So there we will need to act more quickly if we want to have 32 teams already in 2023. We will discuss it as a matter of urgency and see if we can already decide to increase for 2023, in which case we should reopen the bidding process and allow everyone to have a chance to organize or maybe co-host for some of those who have been bidding already for the 2014 World Cup, for a World Cup with 32 teams. But nothing is impossible, and based on the success of this World Cup, of course, we have to believe bigger and to do what we should have done already probably some time ago, but now we have the evidence to do it for women's football. The fourth proposal is very simple. We have already more than doubled the prize money for the Women's World Cup this year, going from 15 to 50 billion, I think, and I'm very optimistic about that, and I'm moving ahead for the next World Cup. We will double it for the next World Cup. I'm very confident that we can achieve the necessary figures in order to do that. And the fifth proposal I want to make is again about investment in women's football. We have already decided to invest in the next 4 years $500 million, $500 million in women's football. I was saying at the last FIFA Congress that we organized here in Paris that the reserves that FIFA has are at unprecedented high level. We have more than 2.7 billion reserves. We don't need all this money in the Swiss banks. The Swiss banks have enough money. We can use some of it, and I will certainly ask that some of it will be reallocated for the development of women's football. And I think, since those who know me, they know that I like round figures, I will propose that another $500 million is allocated to the development of women's football to make it $1 billion investment in women's football in the next 4 years. Everywhere, in grassroots, in competitions, in the world, but we need to invest this in order to make the whole movement around the world grow. So I will make these proposals. I hope that the Council and the associations will follow me. We have here a Council member, Mr. Legret, who hopefully I can already start convincing. And if they don't follow me, well, I will just continue to insist until we get these proposals through. So I think this is the after France 2019, this is the after France 2019 World Cup. A lot will happen with women's football, and only fantastic things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President. I'm sure after such impressive announcement, we have questions from the audience. So please raise your hand. Don't forget to mention the language you will address your question. And yeah, please mention your name and organization. Yes.
Mr. Infantino, Frank Heilmann, freelance journalist from Germany. We have heard some things about the future, but